Bro, my character just appeared in the middle of the ocean. What is it? Day 1. Somehow I escaped on a raft in the middle of the ocean. As a veteran survivor, the first thing that crossed my mind was survival. After looking around, I realized there were a lot of items scattered around, along with sharks ready to eat us as soon as we entered the water. Using the fishing rod provided, I was able to pull some items from the sea such as wood, plastic. If I was lucky, I could pull a jar. I got some items from the sea. I tried to open my inventory. Oh, this is the inventory. Okay. We can immediately make items from here. Awesome. And the first thing I made here was a hammer and started adding my raft foothold. While looking through my inventory, I also fished for items that passed in front of me. Unknowingly, the waves carried me to this small island. There is a small island. Wak. Wee. Wow. Yukampang. Gosh, it's so delicious that after snacking on wood, he immediately left. What if sharks eat wood? Yep, my raft suddenly got slapped by a teacher. For now, I can only look around because I don't have a weapon to chase away the sharks. It doesn't feel like I'm really close to the small island. But I chose to just skip the island, because if I go down, my raft will be gone. Therefore, I prefer to continue sailing and fishing together in the sea. After fishing for quite a long time, I finally succeeded in making a wooden spear weapon. Well, here he is, ready to hit the shark. Not just a spear, not long after that I succeeded in making a water generator with a cup. So for now, the water problem is resolved. Wow. Ho. Here comes the shark again. After floating on the water for a long time, it didn't feel like it was getting dark. So I immediately made a bed, then went to sleep. The second day, with the items I had been pulling all day, I managed to make a fishing rod. Yes, sir. Time for Procoro fishing, wah. And the good thing about fishing in the ref is that you don't need bait, wow. So it's really great. But what I don't like is the durability system. And you could say that in the Raft game, the durability is really potato. After fishing, I made a small grill to cook the fish we caught. Continued to pull items from the sea. Suddenly I got this. Wow. What? What is that? Oh, a receiver blueprint. What is that for? Somehow in the barrel I got a blueprint, namely a receiver. A few minutes passed. I gathered enough materials to make an anchor, or junker, just in case there are other small patterns. And not only that, here I also managed to make a research table. Put it here. Nice. Well, for researching items, wow. Try putting a plank. Well, did I say as the name suggests, the research table is useful for researching new items. After making the research table, I continued fishing as usual. In between, I enlarged the raft with the available items. Whatever, let it be. In the evening, I managed to make a dipper, and coincidentally, there was an island very close to my raft. So you know what happened? That's right. It's time to hang out. After arriving at the island, I put on a weight, threw it, and then went to sleep. On the third day, I woke up and immediately explored the island. Okay, let's explore. There are flowers, wow. What? Should I cut down the mango tree first? Oh, coconuts. Wow, there are watermelons. Yes, sir. On this small island, I got good items like flowers, planks, and fruits. After visiting the small island, I went back to the raft and made storage to put my things. Then I examined items that I hadn't gotten before, like scrap and nails. After visiting the island, it wouldn't feel right if I didn't explore the seabed too. Time to be a diver. What? What's this? We got metal orwa. Awesome. What's this? Oh, this scrap is sand. This one is a suitcase. Okay. Wow, that shark really gave me a heart attack. It turns out there are lots of useful items on the seabed, like metal ore, copper ore. and many more. But I also have to be careful because I could get kissed by a shark. Because I don't want to die in the shark chum, I prefer to sail again to find the next island. After a few minutes of sailing, it was already afternoon, and who would have thought I managed to make a cell here? Well, with this, we can finally move. Wow, on the 4th day, I arrived at Pulau Baru again, and because my raft didn't have an anchor, so I cut down a tree, got some fruit, then returned to the raft, and continued sailing. For some reason, here I was really looking, I just found a little plank and immediately used it as a foothold. If I was hit by a shark, it would cry too. After that, I continued sailing to who knows where. And on the way, I didn't stop to pull things and widen my raft. And at the end of the day, I saw another small island in the distance. Therefore, I kept on digging. And luckily, my raft managed to get close to the island. Immediately threw the weights and went to sleep. On the 5th day, I just woke up and suddenly, there was a shark for breakfast on my raft, bro. I just woke up and immediately ate it. Oh hey, wheat. Got some meat, man. Awesome. EU bang shark. Check. Yep, after I stabbed it multiple times, the Gora finally fell. That was also good news for exploring the seabed, so it was safer. After defeating the shark, I immediately went to the island and started looting it. After looting all the items on the island, I didn't forget to become a diver here. So many, walk. Luckily the shark was down. Wow, what's this? Sew it. Awesome. Another new item. Clay is okay, huh? Most of what I got from the seabed were metal ore, scrap, clay, sand, and seaweed. After looting all the items on the island, I went back to the raft and checked out the new things. What's this, wet brick? Oh, let's dry it first, walk. Well, then I started sailing again to the middle of the ocean. Not long after that, I was approached by this.
What is that?
There's a whale. Oh my god. What? Luckily it didn't attack Wah. Yep. Who would have thought that the Pope would visit me? After that, I suddenly could open a book here. Wow. Wait, what is that? EO. In this game we can read books too. Whose time is it? Lazy. And all day I just carry things as usual. I can't believe it's already afternoon. The bricks that I dried in the sun turned out to be dry, so I immediately researched here. Dry brick. Well, smelters. Nice. Not only can I build a smelter, right in front of me is another new island. But since it was late, it was Amamir's time. On the 6th day when I woke up, I wanted to visit the island in a relaxed manner. But circumstances said otherwise. Wow, I forgot that my soul doesn't have an anchor. So I just cut down trees, took some fruit, then went straight back to rapping. The plan is that I want to explore the seabed too, but what can I do? Wow, let's continue sailing. While sailing, I checked the crafting. It turns out I can see what day it is in this game by making a calendar to make it easier to count. So I made it here. Hey bro, why is it the 5th day instead of the 6th? So like this, at the beginning, it was counted as 0 in the game. So, not long after that, I arrived again at a new small island. Here, I quickly looted the seabed first to get stones to make ballast. After that, I calmly visited the island. And this time, the looting was more on the seabed, because I needed some clay and sen to build a smelter. After getting enough, I went back and made a white break, then went to sleep. On the 7th day, I forced myself to mine clay and order the seabed hoping not to die from sharks. Feeling that I had looted the island enough, I went back to the ocean and started fishing again. Yes, you could say that scavenging for goods in the sea has become my daily activity on the raft. Sailing for a few minutes, I arrived at another small island. Yes, I stopped by and started looting it. And the rest of the 7th day, I spent fishing for certain fish to make shark bait so I could easily take them down. After that, I slept. On the 8th day, I just got the fish I needed. So I immediately made shark bait, and it was time to hunt gourami. Well, here it is. Just make it. Throw it here. Okay, time to hunt. Let's Go. Wow, this is thick. Is the gourami dead? Yes, sir. It's not a lie. It's really thick, wah. After a few hours of shooting, I finally managed to take down the gourami. After that, what I did was clear, which was to explore the seabed first, to look for clay, sand, seaweed, and ore. H. What? Io VTuber check. Brah, what are you trying to do? After a full day underwater, I didn't realize it was already night, so it was time to sleep. On the 9th day, after finishing the island, I immediately set sail again. And also on the 8th day, I finally managed to make a smelter. That's right. The ore I got from diving can finally be melted down. While waiting for the suitcase to be ready, I didn't forget to go fishing mania, walk. After it became a copper bar, I immediately put it on the research table and the battery blueprint appeared. Without realizing it, I was close to Pulau Baru again. If you look around, it turns out the island is big too. Wow, and sure enough, when I checked above, I found this. Io Island is big too. What is this? It's there at Wak. Jackpot. Weir. That's right. This was the first time I had discovered a place that big, and after the resources on the island ran out, I immediately returned to Raft. After checking again, it turns out I got a bolt from the train, wow. When I researched it, sis, I found lots of good things that I could make. Not only that, I also managed to make a fairly large chest here. Of course, the capacity to store goods is getting bigger. Well, the metal ore is ready. Wow, let's check. What? What's that? Hinge, bolt, scope, grill, anchor, and net launcher. Jackpot or not, wow. And the rest of the 9th day, I spent fishing and then sleeping. On the 10th day, I was still on the same island, trying to empty all the items under the sea. Although I was a bit scared, because there are sharks that sometimes like to smell. Wah! And you could say that the looting this time was quite smooth. I got a lot of useful items. After diving, I went back to the raft and started making some more white breaks too. If you didn't realize, the seeds I got can also be melted, and the results are fine go. When I examined them, I got good blueprints like arrows and flippers. After that, I continued sailing. As usual, all I did was drag items and expand the raft little by little, then sleep. On the 11th day, I found a really big island this time. Because I was really curious, I immediately explored the island. Excuse me. What? E.O. Wilson. No. Wilson. Ah, tired. On this big island, I found another animal, Wilson, aka chicken. And also, there are a lot of trees on this island. And not only that, wah. After exploring further, I found this. What am I? Wow, this is a pig. Wow. Wee. What does he want to do? He lunged. E.O. Sill. Wow, that's dangerous. Yep, as you can see, I was suddenly attacked by this black pig. Because I'm a really pro, so I tried to beat him. Oh, chill, man. Wow, ants. Oh my god. Fasting, wow. As you can see, that's all I have left. Like it or not, I have to go back to Raft. When I arrived at the Raft, I made a new axe and also a new fishing rod here. After that, continue fishing. What? Big fish. How big is that? The pleasure of fishing doesn't feel like it's already late, so it's Amamir's time. On the 12th day, I woke up and immediately made shark bait to use later. Then I returned to the island to take revenge on the black pig. Where's the black one? Well, here LE doesn't get eaten. Wow, chill, man. Eat here. Yes, sir. Amamir too. Wow, our mukbang wok. Yo, check the pig mask. Finally, wok. After being gored a few times, the black pig felled. And here I got some meat and skin. After that, I leisurely cut down the existing tree, and my calm suddenly disappeared because of this.
Hello!
Hell! Well, boy, there's another pig. What? What's that? Yo, there's a bird carrying a stone. Hell nah. As you can see, I met another black pig at the same time as the big bird arrived. But luckily, I managed to fell the pig here. Yes. Yo. What is that, man? What is that throwing bird? Better go back. It doesn't stop there, Whack. When I arrived at the raft, I was really bored. So I threw the shark bait and started hunting. Boom. Yes, sir. Bang shark finished fighting. The shark decided to go back to the island and finally saw the bird in action taking stones. What is it doing? Look at this bird. He's really good. Even so, I just ignored the bird and started taking all the resources on the island. There's another crate, man. Awesome. What's that? Why? There's a WA shop. Well, it can't be bought apparently. The pleasure of hanging out didn't realize it was already night, so I immediately went back to the raft and went to sleep. On the 13th day, I just realized I got a glass from the crate yesterday, so I immediately did some research and got a cool blueprint, namely an upgraded version of the water maker. Not only that, here I also managed to make a circuit board. I immediately researched too and got a lot of blueprints that I needed. After that, I continued with a shark rush and started exploring the seabed of this big island. And what made me grin was that there was also this item at the bottom of the sea. Wait a minute. What's that? Well, I guess there was GR at the bottom of the sea. Not only that, with the items I collected, I managed to make a big grill, which is really good for cooking meat. And the rest of the 13th day, I only cooked meat, then slept. On the 14th day, I was finally able to sail again to the ocean. Apart from that, I also managed to make a large version of the water reservoir, which didn't require any more planks to make it. Then I returned to my daily life in the middle of the sea, namely pulling floating objects. And the result was that I succeeded in making a bottle to store more water. After being quite far from the island, I suddenly passed this strange building. Oh, what building is that? Swim first, okay? Yo, got another crate, wow. Excellent. It turned out that in that strange building, I found one creation and no other items. A few minutes passed, and I arrived at the small island again. So you already know the rules for finding a new island. Yep. Stop by for a moment and drain the available resources. And I was surprised by the presence of another kit on the island. Wow, that's really okay. It didn't feel like I was exploring the island when it was suddenly already nighttime. So it's time, Amimir. Day 15 is still just an ordinary day where I sailed again into the middle of the ocean. Then I did my daily activities, which was to pull things from the sea. Feeling like I had collected a lot of wood, I planned to build a building on the second floor. So I started by making stairs here. After that, I immediately made the floor. And also on the 15th day, I finally managed to make a receiver item. From the name, it seems this item is for receiving signals. So I made it here. Now, is this a Silpender first? Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I already made a battery. Well, put the battery here. Boom.
Bro, it requires a higher altitude. It needs a fairly high place, apparently. Well,
let's turn it on. What's this? Oh, it needs 3 antennas, wow. Damn it. As you can see, the receiver won't work until there are 3 antennas. So, it can't be helped, it's better to sleep. On the 16th day, I started by putting the net. Continued by expanding the second floor, which turned out to have a function, this second floor too. After that, I found another small island. It wouldn't feel right if it wasn't looted, right? After draining the resources on the island, I continued sailing, and on the way I managed to make an antenna here. So I installed it. Well, let's see, bro. Still red. Here? Well, you can do it. You see, one antenna is green. Yep, here I managed to make 1 antenna. That means I need 2 more to catch the signal. While looking for materials to make another antenna, I didn't forget to expand the second floor. Arriving in the afternoon, I finally managed to make another antenna here. Well, there's only 1 antenna left, On the 17th day, I started by tidying up the place where the receiver was placed on the second floor, along with the existing antenna. Then I started looking for more materials to make another antenna, and in the process I managed to defeat another shark. So Iomuk Bang Hai also didn't forget to expand the second floor. After sailing who knows where, I was surprised to find another big island. What ain't no way. Lucky walk? I found another big island. Yes, sir. Yes, I reflexively threw the weight and continued draining the resources on the island. Ho! I met the black pig again. Wow, this is my life, man. Look at my life number. I'm really dying. I'd better leave. Huh, luckily I was able to escape. On the 18th day after being bullied by the black pig, I woke up refreshed and ready to take revenge on the pig. Where is the pig? Yesterday I could only smile, wow, now you're here. What is this pig trying to do? After defeating the black pig, I continued exploring the big island while draining the resources. What? There's a cave, wow. Excuse me. Wow, FF mushrooms, no way. 2Ks in the same place. Yes, sir. Besides the many trees on this island, it turns out I found a hidden cave that contained a lot of good loot. It doesn't end there, whack. When I started to climb up, I found this. The bird was dead on the raft. This is proof that it's hard to think about the ababil bird while it's having fun chasing. Before I realized it was almost nighttime, so I decided to go back to the raft and sleep. On the 19th day, I started by making shark bait and hunting it. As usual, mukbang shark. Continued by exploring the seabed and looting all the items I found, such as clay, sand, and others. Honestly, I spent a lot of time underwater just to take the things there. After being a diver, I immediately made another antenna and expanded the raft. For what? Just let it be. After expanding the raft, I put the third antenna on the second floor and bombawek duek. It turned out to be very close to the antenna, wak. Because the antenna still wasn't working, so I left it for now and started sailing again to the middle of the sea. While sailing, I also expanded the second floor so I could put the antenna further away. And after fiddling with it, the receiver finally turned on. And bomb, can it work? Wow, it's on, man. What? Oh, our main goal must be this blue mark. Okay. Yep, as you can see, the receiver finally turned on, which means I have a fixed goal, which is to go to the displayed sign. Meanwhile, I also didn't forget to expand the raft foothold here. With the vast area available, I finally managed to make a good anchor. And the good thing is, this anchor is not disposable. So great. Besides the anchor, I also made another sail here to make the raft move faster. On the 20th day, I arrived again at a small island, and as usual, I stopped by for a while and started to drain the existing resources. Then I continued sailing while waiting to reach my destination. All I did was fish and cook them. Until finally, I arrived at the place on the receiver. Wah. Is that our main goal, Wah? Wow, what kind of building is that? Well, before we go there, we need our RF first, right? That's right, Wak. On the 20th day, I finally started to make progress by arriving at our first destination. But because it was getting late, it was Amimir's time. Day 21 was time to explore this big building. Well, here, I explored the bottom first. There's another walk crate door. Nice. Just go up. Scrap. What? See a shark, name him Bruce. Bruh, catch a shark named Bruce. What are you trying to do? There's a note. Lazy. What blueprint is this? Headlight. Another note. Lazy. Go up to the tower. Wha. The. Weir. What are you doing? Ouch. Wow. What? Another blueprint. Whack. After exploring the place, I found an NPC whose use I don't know. And since it was already night, I decided to go back to the raft and sleep. Day 22, I felt like I left something on the tower yesterday. So I went back there to check. And sure enough, I forgot to take this yesterday, Wah. Well, here, Wah. Well, I got another code from someone. Okay. 931. Well, another new place appeared that we have to go to. Yes, sir. That's right. It turns out the number leads us to a new place again. Yes, I'll try going there. And along the way, I also made several more nets here. Then it's back to my day, namely pulling things that pass by until the evening. On the 23rd day, I arrived again on the small island. I don't feel like leaving it alone, right? So you already know what happened. After draining the resources on the surface, I'll continue draining the seabed. Take clay, sand, scrap, and OR. After diving, I immediately made a lot of wet ripples here to use to make another smelter. And I also added some nets to make it good for getting things in the sea. In the evening, I make streamer items. The point is to see which direction the wind is going and then sleep. On the 24th day, my luck appeared again, where I accidentally arrived on Gidi Island. But before exploring there, I tried to build a fence on each side of the RF, the main purpose of which was to prevent it from being attacked by sharks. Yes, even though it's useless, you can take a look later. After that, it was time to explore Gidi Island, and as soon as I entered, I was immediately greeted by a black pig. Luckily, I found a trick to make it easier to defeat it. Wow, bro, he's so stupid. How come he can't even climb a small rock and attack? After defeating the pig, I immediately drained the resources on the island, such as trees and fruits. After my inventory was full, I went back to the collar to store the loot. And suddenly the Kompangora appeared, bro. I thought he wouldn't do anything to him. It was no use building a fence. After sorting items, I immediately slept here. Day 25, before returning to the island, I made a stone arrow first, which was planned to kill the stone birds on the hill later. After that, I continued to loot the island. As usual, on the hill I got a grade that contained quite a lot. After cutting down all the trees on the island, it turned out the birds weren't that annoying, wow. So I decided to go back to the raft and start fishing. After fishing, as usual I made shark bait and immediately hunted it. Eo mukbang shark. After defeating the shark, I immediately explored the seabed on Gidi Island and got a lot of useful items. On the 26th day, I continued plundering the seabed on Gidi Island. And don't think it's a while, wake, it does take quite a long time to get all the items on the seabed. Feeling that I had enough, I immediately went back to the raft and made another net. Not only that, I also added one cell above to make it move faster. After that I went to sleep. On the 27th day, I started by making quite a lot of white brick. Continued by making medium storage, and not forgetting to tidy up the place. Before I knew it, the wet break that I was drying had become dreck. I immediately made 2 more smelters here, and after that I just melted the existing ore. While waiting so I didn't forget to fish until the evening, and then went to sleep. On the 28th day, with the existing materials, I managed to make an oxygen battle. Bro, what are you trying to do? His mouth is chewing bottles. Not just oxygen bottles, I also make flipper items. Now that the underwater exploration is complete, it will be even more solid. And after that, all I did was look at the receiver and try my best to get close to it, even though the wind said otherwise. Day 29, I decided to stop by for a moment at the island in front of me and test new items. Oh, I didn't realize it was Gidi Island. It's a joke. Without realizing it, I arrived at Gidi Island, and as usual, I just went after the resources on the island. There's another cave. Wow. Let's test the scope, guys. Got it. Nice, brah. Cat Grade is hiding. And also on Gidi Island, I fought a black pig, although this time I beat him very well. Yes, sir. Wow, my life is gone. My life is very critical. What a cool bird. Back. No, I forgot that there are sharks. No shark unge. Yep, as you can see, this is the first time I've died in a raft. Luckily, in this game, there is no permanent wall. But the boarding house is that 2/3 of our stuff is gone. No with me. Huh, it was hard to collect. Why? It's easy. After the response came back, my reaction was to destroy all the fences in the raft, then fish. Why? Because I wanted to make shark bait and get revenge. Day 30. After getting the ingredients, I made shark bait, throw it, and immediately get revenge. Here. Sampang shark. Because of you, 2/3 of my stuff is gone. Eat it. Huh, that's annoying. After defeating the shark, I decided to return to the island and continue draining the existing resources. After cutting down all the trees, I immediately returned to the raft and started sailing again. And the rest of the 30th day, I just matched the path to the next new place, even though the wind direction said otherwise. Day 31, I was still in the same place. Why not go for a walk? Because the wind was blowing the opposite direction walk. Yes, all I can do is fish and dance, passing items. But hey, check out this cool sofa. Day 32, I decided to return to the island. And this time with a dongo idea, namely, what would happen if I killed this bird? I'm curious. No, my E is not enough. Isn't it a spear, bro? Can you wait for me until he comes? Tired, And the results failed miserably. Because I made too few heroes, I decided to return to the raft and continue to the next destination. Until the evening, I was surprisingly still in the same place, bro. Bowick is very girly. On the 33rd day, I felt fit with the wind direction being gentle. Gu decided to just row to his destination. Even though it sounds stupid, what can you do? Day 34, after sacrificing more than 3 dippers, I finally saw his new place, Wa. Oh, finally, Wa. This is the place, yo. This is it. Yes, Anjir. Wow, finally it's true. After paddling until I was exhausted, I arrived at our next destination, the IAT, and before I went in to explore it, I didn't forget to prepare. After that, I was on my way. There's an entrance, sir. Oh, this is the engine room. What? What's this crowbar? Oh, it's for opening the door. What the? What's that, dude? There's a big rat. Damn, eat it. Jackpot. Whack. Yep, I arrived at the storage room, if I'm not mistaken, and got a lot of useful items. I continued exploring the hallway and arrived at this place. What, the gas cylinder? What's that for? And here's the door at the end. Wow, mechanical parts, bee cutter, and notes. Oh, this time I need other things to use. Okay. With the bolt cutter I got, I managed to open this cupboard even though the contents were lazy. And also, because it was already night, I decided to go back to the raft and sleep. On the 35th day, I continued exploring the yak's place, and this time at the top. It turns out the doors are all locked, wah. What is this place? How do I get in upstairs? Yes, after going around in circles, I was confused about how to get in. Until the evening, I was staring blankly to get in. Then on the 36th to 37th day, I suddenly did this, wow. This door opens from the inside. Well, right, bro. That's it. Really confused. After the door was opened, I immediately explored the inside and found lots of items like notes, a locked safe, a crate, 2 mechanical parts, and I also found this. Key card. Okay, what is this? Oh, a green key. Well, the mechanical part is apparently used to make a carc. Well, to open this, use a carc? Yes, sir. Excuse me. What is this? Notes again. Lazy. Wait. Let's go back to the first safe. Now it can be opened. Wow, this mouse is just a surprise. Electrical wire and notes. Yes, sir. What? Make a bomb. The hell? Oh, put this bomb on the door. Hello, what blueprint is this? Another blueprint. Time to go back, walk. What I got from the yak earlier was quite a lot, starting from the engine blueprint, steering wheel, and, most importantly, the code to go to the next new place. Oh, this walk, the code is Balboa 4378. Okay, 4... Well, it's time to go to Balboa Island. W not only managed to find the code to the next place, here I also managed to make a wheel that is really good for steering the raft. And also I had time to improve the area on the raft until I didn't realize it was already night. So it's time for Amamir. Day 38. On the way to the new place, I didn't miss the small island. Yes, I started chasing here first. After chasing, I wanted to try making a bird's nest so the birds would come to get feathers, walk. Then I tried hunting sharks here because I wanted to plunder the seabed too. Day 39. After killing the shark, I immediately started mining or scrapping the soot on the seabed. After being a diver, it was time to return to the raft and continue sailing towards my next destination. On the way, I found another strange place that of course had a gate, and all day I did was pull things and wait until I reached my destination. Day 40 was a relaxing day where I just did the usual things. Filling the water, pulling things, and tidying up the chest. Yes, back to my daily routine of pulling things and sleeping. Day 41, I started by examining the feathers I got from the bird's nest. Continued by patching my net with metal injing so that it wouldn't be eaten by sharks. It didn't end there, Walk. On day 41, I finally managed to make an engine. Yes, sir. Wow, it's getting modern. Where should I put it? Well, this is it, bro. Sis. Oh, it turns out it needs a sign, Walk. For the fuel so it doesn't cry, we'll cover it with metal or la here. Let's try to start it. Yes, sir. Finally, wah. GG. After 40 days, I finally started to enter the modern era. Wow, there's no story about the ladle anymore, except the flank is gone. And coincidentally in front of me there is a small island, I plundered it. Before I realized it was already night, I returned to the raft and looked around. On the 42nd day, I started fishing to get shark bait. After getting it, I immediately threw it and hunted the shark here. After defeating the shark as usual, I explored the seabed near the island and took all the available items. After diving, I returned to the raft and immediately headed to the next place. Thanks to the engine I made, I could finally sail easily, Whack. And my next main goal was clear, which was to go to Balboa Island. A few minutes passed, before I realized it was already night. When I checked the receiver, it was still far away. Whack. On the 43rd day, I continued sailing again to a new place. And on the way, I didn't forget to do the necessary things like pulling goods, cooking meat, melting, and so on. And after a few minutes passed, I finally arrived at Balboa Island. Wow, this is a new island, wow. It's really big. Wait a minute, let's find the entrance, shall we? Well, here it is, wow. Let's just drop the anchor. When we arrived at the entrance, the sun was about to set. Since I was too lazy to explore at night, I decided to go to sleep first. Day 44, I woke up and immediately jumped and started exploring the island. Just as I climbed up, I suddenly encountered this. Wow! What's this sign? I was so scared. What is that? Oh hell! Well, that's a rhinoceros bear. Not yet. Since I didn't want to die a stupid death, I chose to go the other way and immediately explore it. Ranger Station and Ray Station 2. Rather than being confused, let's just follow the signs. Turns out, inside the island, I saw a sign pointing to a place. So I followed it. Oh dear, another bear. Oh, luckily this one is a caraco. Nice. Let's move on. Let's go to the ranger station first, shall we? After exploring further, I finally arrived at a place that I had to pass through to get to the end. Walk. Is parkour real? Wait. Try going above. No way. Parkour is the way. Yo. No way. What is this? Oh, let's go here first, Excuse me. Nice blueprint, not lazy. Great again, sir. Here's the berry I need. It turns out I didn't just arrive at the ranger station, but there was also a tower next to it. So I went up. Okay, let's go up the tower. What's going on? Lazy notes. Oh, let's turn it on. Well, there are only 2 more to go. It's time to go down. After the tower, I immediately aimed to head to the next tower. But circumstances said otherwise. I got lost until I reached the cave. Although the cave had a lot of good items, so it was worth it. And luckily, I managed to get back to the rafters and go straight to sleep. On the 45th day, I returned to the island, and with the berries I collected, somehow the bird was distracted by berry, walk. So I could calmly continue exploring. What's going on? Yo Masete's blueprint, dude. And this is really a jackpot that can jam us. After getting the jackpot, I immediately aimed to go to the remaining 2 towers. On the way, I fought several Kiro bears and also found honey, and I still don't know what it's used for. Well, thanks to the signs on each path, somehow I managed to get there, Wak. Oh, there's another cave, Wak. Oh, use Masete? Okay. Yo, here it is, Wak. Go straight up the tower using Ask. Hey, hello relay station. H. Bro, look at this, dude. He's really chill. What's this? At the top of the tower, I found another NPC, and most importantly, I got a new blueprint. After activating the second tower, I immediately went down and headed to the last tower. Oh, there it is, Wak, the 3rd tower. How do I get there? With an arrow? Oh, I fell straight down. He just surprised me. Well, this is the last tower, right? Let's go straight up. When I got to the top, I found a note. Then I turned on the 3rd tower, the blueprint again. And who would have thought that after the 3 towers were lit, a new code appeared on the screen. Here it is, the code is 6049. It's time to go back. After getting the code to go to the next place, without further ado, I immediately returned to the RAF. Arriving at Diff 6, because I was still curious about what else was at the ranger station, I went back there again. When I arrived at the ranger station, it turned out there was nothing, and that's how my 46th day was wasted. On the 47th day, I started by opening the research table and saw that there were lots of items that could be made. One of them was MT. After that, I immediately sailed to the next place. On the way, I made a place to plant trees, which was very good for entering my plans for the future. And the rest of the 47th day, I just stayed at the RAF, and if there were resources, I took them. When it's night, I go straight to sleep. Day 48. In reality, the coconut tree I planted has grown, so it's time for us to cut it down. And while waiting to reach our destination, I didn't forget to enlarge the rafter again. 1 tree is not enough posts, so I made another one here. And yes, the rest of the 48th day, I just did boring things, like pulling goods, enlarging the rafter, and melting the existing ore. After sailing for quite a long time, finally I arrived at a place that was quite astonishing. Oh my god, it was a place with lots of buildings. Wow, there must be a lot of resources there. Right. After sailing for so long, I finally arrived at a new island again, namely, Caravan Island. As usual, before exploring further, I prepared first, and before I realized it was already night, so it was time for Amimir. Arriving on day 49, I woke up and immediately explored here. And my first impression, when exploring New Island, was that there was a lot of loot in every drawer in the broken room. And what confused me the most was this puzzle again. Oh hell. Well, it was just exploration. How come we're already presented with a puzzle, bro? Because I don't want to get dizzy, I'll just continue the looting here. The convenience of draining resources doesn't feel like it's getting late, so I decided to go home and sleep. Day 50. Suddenly this vulture threw stones at my raft. Because I was really annoyed, I tried to kill him here. After defeating the stone bird, I started to solve the puzzle I found yesterday. Wow, this puzzle has to channel the water all the way to the bottom, wow. Wait a minute, it's time to brainstorm. Wrong, yeah. Well, right. What do I say? I'm stupid. What's this? Zipline part. Oh, what do you think it's for? Better sleep. Day 51. I continue to further explore the island and most importantly, exhaust the resources I can find. After exploring further, I arrived in the middle of the buildings on the island. There must be something here. Again, lazy notes. Oh, sir, I need 3-part plans. Coincidentally, I've found one. There are only 2 left. That means it's time to explore. Yep, inside his house, I was told to collect 3 zipline parts. And that's what I'm trying to do here. After exploring the next island, I found this. Wow. What? What's this? Need explosive powder. I continued exploring the island. I didn't realize it was already night, and at the end of the day, I still hadn't found the zipline part. On day 52, I continued exploring, and this time, I was more thorough. And sure enough, not far below the island, I found this. Wow. Yo, this is a suspicious pipe. Should I explore first? Wow, there's a pufferfish. Oh, pufferfish can get explosive goo. Okay. Huh, luckily there's a place to breathe down there, wow. Wow, it's deep. Nice, there's another place to breathe. Okay, I think this is at the end of the pipe. What's this? Infirmary key. Well, this is a zipline part. Wow, there's a blueprint too. Metal detector. After getting the second zipline part, I immediately went back to the surface and looked for another zipline part. And the result was still missing until nightfall. On the 53rd day, I just found out that explosives have to be melted first to become explosive powder. After becoming explosive powder, I didn't forget to research it here. And what I got was a net or bullet from the net launcher, which is used to catch animals. And all I did on the 53rd day was just make explosive powder, tidy up the items I got, then sleep. On the 54th day, with the explosive powder, I immediately took it to the strange place I found yesterday. Here it is. Io became a rocket, damn it. Wow, what's that fell? Well, here it is, part 3 of the zipline. With the 3 zipline parts collected, I immediately returned to the middle of the building on the island and immediately made the zipline here. Yes, sir, here it is, the zipline. With the zipline, I can now go to areas I haven't explored yet. And in this new area, I saw a lot of pigs. I defeated them. Besides that, I also got good items from the house here, like this key. After chasing in this area, I returned to the center of the building and continued to the area I had never touched. Well, I haven't explored it yet. Hello. What's this? What? Battery charger blueprint again. Engine control is okay. And this is new, sis. This is my Mr. Tarno, bro. Before I had time to explore more thoroughly, it was already night, so I decided to go back to the raft and on the 55th day, I went back to the previous place and found what I was looking for, namely the code to the next place. After getting the code, I immediately went back to the raft and sailed straight to the middle of the ocean. 8906. Well, next we will go to Tangaroa, dude. On the way to the new place, I had time to make a metal detector item. What's it for? Of course, to look for joke treasures. After that, I tried to improve my raft again by adding a fence on the first floor, especially for storing items and making something. On the 56th day, I continued to tidy up the items on the first floor. Starting from moving the chest, research table, I moved the water reservoir out, the smelter on the right, and the grill on the left. After I finished scrubbing, I immediately tested my metal detector on the small island. So I immediately jumped here. Here? What? What? It really appeared whack. After I finished treasure hunting, I didn't forget to cut down all the trees. After that, I continued to improve my raft by adding an entrance and finishing the fence. And in the afternoon, I fished for Picoro, as usual, then hunted sharks. EOM bro. On the 57th day, when I woke up, I immediately became a diver for copper ore, metal ore, and looked for seaweed. After chasing the resources on the island, I continued sailing again. And on the way, I only did random things like melting sewers. And in the afternoon, I saw a rather unique island. When I explored it, I found this. Wow. Yo, this is the first time I've found an island with a plane. No way. I immediately became a skilled pilot. I was so happy to get a pilot helmet. I immediately went back to the raft and slept. Day 58, I started my day by cutting down the trees I planted. After that, I went fishing, the main purpose of which was to make shark bait, and you can guess what happened next. That's right. EU, after hunting sharks, I immediately explored the seabed, which again aimed to get a lot of OR. After that, I didn't forget to immediately melt the OR here. And while waiting for all the OR to melt, I immediately sailed towards our next destination. And when I arrived on day 59, I was shocked by the place I found. No way, bro. No half measures, there's a city inside. Wow, beyond reason. After several days of sailing, I finally arrived at this floating city. Well, here I circled the city to find the entrance. Well, here is the entrance. Should I park first? Before I entered this floating city, I had time to make a fuel tank item to store fuel. Luckily, I got a lot of it while exploring the island yesterday. Well, with this, I no longer need the plank for the engine to run. Just connect it using a pipe. Well, after that, it was time to go inside. Plantation elevator storage area. Okay, let's go to the storage area first, sir. What is this place? Cafeteria. Okay. Oh, this is the storage area, walk. What generator part? Oh, we need 2 more, sir, for the generator part. After exploring inside, I arrived at the storage area. But since it was already night, I decided to go back to the rafters and sleep. On the 60th day, I went back inside and looked for the remaining 2 generator parts. Okay, this is the second one, only 1 left. Well, here comes the third one. Straight back to the storage area. Yes, sir. Oh, we can control this to connect the path to the next one. If this is the story, it's time for my zinc brain to connect, is it? Oui. Is it real? Yes, sir. I was immediately greeted by my blueprint. After fiddling with the cargo in front of me for quite a while, I somehow managed to connect the path. Whack. Successfully solved the puzzle. I arrived at the next area. After going deeper, suddenly this happened. Oh. Way. Mom is drowning, man. Wow, where am I going? I can't go up. Oh, I'd better go home, because here I'm really panicking. I stupidly swam out. Well, luckily I still managed to survive until I reached the rafters, because it was already night, so I slept here first. Day 61, woke up without much small talk. I immediately dived back in and looked for a way into the city. And not long after that, it turned out that in the storage area there was a ladder that we could climb. So I immediately jumped and explored further. What? This place is really where, if you fall, you'll get electrocuted. I got a slow whip, sir. Oh, to open this, it turns out after passing through the area where the electricity leaks, I continued walking and finally arrived inside. Walk I. Finally come in. Wow. Wow, that's cool. Wow, the tree can be cut down. Hey, boy. Can it be opened or not? This is just the driveway, wow. Arriving in Ngapong City, the first thing I did was open the doors on each side so that it would be easier to get in and out later. And after that, I went back to the rafters and went to sleep. Day 62. I started by chopping down all the trees until my axe broke. After that, just continue exploring. I was enjoying my walk. Suddenly there was a robot pretending to be fun and inviting me to play. Yes, I'll kill him. And it turns out that when he took it, he dropped the key to enter the house in this city. And what surprised me was that in the middle of the city, there was some kind of walk vending machine. What the hell? Is there a vending machine? Where do you get the coins from? Because I wanted to buy goods from the vending machine, I was forced to go into people's houses and start looking for as many coins as possible. And on the 62nd day, I only entered people's houses to get useful items like tape and most importantly coins. And then night came with the coins I collected. I managed to buy this. Wapak. Wow. Let's go. Really cool, isn't it, Wa? The capacity is brutal. On day 63, I did the same thing, which was entering people's houses to chase the items there, just like that, until day 64. On days 64 to 65, with the coins I collected, I managed to buy these items. After that, I just remembered that I got a lot of tape from people's houses. So I just went back to the tunnel, right? And sure enough, I found a new path that I should have gone through here. After exploring further, I finally arrived at the place I wanted to go. Walk. Well, here comes the zipline, whack. Sis finally arrived at the center building. When I arrived at the Black Tower, I immediately entered the elevator and went up. And this is what I found. What blueprint is that? I am a large storage. No way. What is this? Emergency bridge launch. Wonder what the code is. On top of the tower, I was required to enter a secret code to activate whatever this is. And after checking the notes again, I immediately understood here. Wow, wait. These 4 signs must have their own meaning. Oh, no way. Got it. If I'm not mistaken, this is the building logo below, and the building has its own number. Wow. Time to use my brain again. Weird. After realizing that this note is a clue, I immediately went down and looked for places related to the picture. Well, this burger building is in 2nd place. The code is 8. Okay, remember the 8. Well, this VR arcade is in 1st place. The code is 4. Okay. Remember 4AT, then 8. Oh, this floating fashion is in last place. The code is 3. Remember 48 blank 3. Well, this barber has 1 code. Okay, if you combine them, it becomes 4813. Awesome. You guys have to be smart, man. Go straight back up. 4813. Yo, what's going on? Oh, hell. Well, after activating the code, suddenly a building flew into the middle of the sea. Out of curiosity, I immediately went back to the RF and headed towards the flying building. There's a ladder. Excuse me. Got titanium. What? Blueprint water tank. Nice. What's that dog doing, bro? What are you doing there? This guy is really stupid. Well, this is what I need. The code goes to the next place. Let's go. After getting the code, I immediately went back to the raft and changed the code again to go to the next place, Faruna. On the 66th day, I started by melting titanium ore. After it was done, I immediately examined it, and you won't believe it, I got so many new items. Feeling that one machine was running slowly, I added another one. Wasteful? Who cares? The important thing is to be fast. And on the 66th day, I mostly just hunted sharks on a small island. After that, drained the existing resources. On the 67th day, I was still on the same island, doing the same thing, diving for OR mining. And after being a diver, I found a whoops bug in this game. Wow, what's the bug? Instead of being curious, let's just practice. Wow, the bug is to create a chest first, and then fill it with the items you want to duplicate. For example, here there are several ORs. Then save the worlds. After saving, take all the items in the chest. After that, select the main menu. Yes. Yes. Then Lord World. Select our world. World backup. And this later, and let's see if it works. Wow. Okay, here it is, in the inventory and in the chest. What the hell? No way. And it turns out the bug worked, sir. And you can guess, I spent my 67th day with this item bug. Once again, this is not a cheat, but a feature. And after doing the bug several times, this is what I got. This bug is too OP fix. With all the items I had, I managed to make some things like electric free fire and battery charger. I was so happy doing the bug, I didn't realize I arrived at a new place again. And before going there, I made 2 more new items, namely engine control and hammock for sleeping. Day 68, before exploring. As usual, I prepared here by bringing an oxygen bottle and spare flippers, because I could already guess we would enter the water. After that, I continued exploring. And in the first exploration, this place took me to the top of the tower. And when I got to the top, I found this. What is this? Oh, need a key. E-blueprint again, walk. Lazy note. There is a zip plane. What is this place? Turns out there is nothing. After finishing exploring the surface, I didn't find much. And because it was already night, I decided to sleep. Arriving on day 69 to 70. What's wrong with that? On day 69, without further ado, I immediately jumped into the water, and I was impressed by what I saw below. Not only are there jellyfish, it turns out there's a place to breathe too, right? Awesome. After wandering around further, I just realized we need a spotlight part to get rid of the jellyfish from our path, so I immediately looked for it here. Oh, here it is, sir. The place has been going around all this time, Goo. Oh, what kind of fish is that? He's quite fierce. Well, here's the spotlight, walk. I need 3 more though. After wandering around as a diver, I managed to collect 4 spotlight parts. So I went back to the lamp and immediately fixed it, wah. Well, it's open. After the path was open, I continued exploring. After going quite a distance inside, I arrived at this place. Take everything by asking. And in this place I got the door key, along with the new blueprint. After looting all the items, I tried to continue exploring, right? And I was surprised by the arrival of this creature. Jackpot were. Wow, what's that, man? What? Megalodon or not? Wow. Oh hell. Now. Wow, that's it, bro. Oh, I'm afraid. Oh, I understand. Be patient. Wow. Wow. Well, put it here. Okay, just wait for the death blow. How surprised I was by the appearance of this megalodon. Because I didn't want to die, I had to go out first to prepare better. Wow, not yet. Better get out. After making preparations, I tried to go downstairs again, and another disaster happened. Are sharks really annoying? Wow, it's true that when a croco shark dies, it's true. Wow, that's not fun. Wow, that's a mess. Beat it first, beat it first. Is it safe or not? Oh my god, bro. Huh? Heavy emotions. We're where? Yep, not yet against his father. I already died with Hugh Croco. Whoops, whoops. On the 71st day after the response came back, I prepared as usual, and after that I immediately went back to Megalodon's place to beat him. Okay, here we go. Wow, just waiting for it. Oh, it's already a hole, sir. Go upstairs first. No. Well, where is that? Wow, what is he trying? Come on, Mom. Come here, Mom. Bro, he's really stupid. Hurry, hurry, put the barrel down quickly. Well, one more collision anyway. Come on, come here. Nice. Continue to the next floor. Wow. Be patient, sir. Behavior. Look, he's right. I refer to it correctly. That's how genuine he is. Just one more crash. Come on, L. That's it, I'm a mere bro. Easy is right. Don't forget the sound effects. After playing chase on several floors, the Megalodon finally fell. Yes, although I think easy is right, and I got quite a lot of meat from this shark. Thanks to the big explosion, there was a hole leading to a new place. When I explored, it turned out to be quite good items, such as keys, blueprints, and notes. After leaving the room, I immediately returned to the surface. Then, with the key, I immediately went to the tower that had some kind of motor, then turned it on. Well, this uses a key. Hey, what do you think that fell? After approaching it, it turned out to be to open a new area. So I tried to explore, right? And it turned out there was something I wanted inside. Blueprint. Advanced battery. And here it is, Whack. The code to the next place. Oh, temperance. Okay, time to go back. Happy with getting the code to the next place, I went back to the raft, immediately entered the code, and then continued sailing. Day 72 was a relaxing day, where I just sailed to the next new place, while enlarging the raft by adding another engine to make a bigger water reservoir so that the water intake would continue, and put the Megalodon trophy at the back. Don't ask why it was so big. I don't know if my raft was moving too fast or what. Suddenly, I arrived at the new place. Wow, this is Antarctica, bro. It turns out our next destination is a snowy area. Well, before I rushed down, I tried to find a good parking spot so I wouldn't get lost later. After walking around, I finally found a really good place for Narf. So I immediately took off the anchor, then went to sleep. Day 73 to 75. Before exploring as usual, I prepared supplies such as weapons, food, and drinks. After that, I immediately went to explore the snow area. Not far from where I hung out, I suddenly encountered a polar bear, although I still easily defeated it. What pole is this? What? Pulling cables. Immediately got 2 electrical cables. I wonder what they are for. Continue again. Explore further. I was made to jump up and down by finding this item. Wee. Hey, no way. Sis, this is exciting, man. I immediately became the king of drip. With the discovery of the snowmobile, I was very comfortable exploring further, and in the process, I managed to collect some cables from electricity poles. And what amazed me was the discovery of a village in the middle of a snow mountain. Wow, there's a village, man. Don't forget the cables. Oh, so this is the function of the cables. From here to... Oh, well, the house is open. After connecting several cables, I managed to enter the opened house. And because I still lacked cables, so I started exploring again and looking for cables. E-Sis immediately became the handle jockey. There's a lot of loot here. Awesome. While I was looking for cables, I was curious about the 2 lights shining upwards. So I went over to them, right? And it turns out the lights came from here. Oh, this is some kind of lab, wow. A bunker or a lab? Oh, it turns out we need blowers to get in. Okay. Since we still can't get in, so I continued looking for cables until nightfall. After getting enough cables, I went back to the village and started connecting the cables one by one. Okay, this is the last one. Yes, sir, it's finally open. There's a vending machine too, apparently. After successfully connecting all the existing cables, the building in the middle can be entered. And inside, I got a lot of useful items, like blueprints. And here I am so stupid, I forgot to take the torch block. What was I thinking? Feeling like I had caught up with everything, I decided to go out and continue exploring. After walking around the area, I suddenly found a new building again. Walk. Oh, there's another building, sir. Oh, that's a surprise. Eat there. There's a note. Lazy. Ouch. Watch out for falling. Ouch, I thought it was something. Luckily, Gakamir. Okay, there's a way. What is this? Let's go into the room, Whack. After being surprised by the falling snow, I finally arrived inside the room. And as usual, there were new items that I got, like this note that I still don't know what it's used for. And on the top floor, I was amazed by the presence of a really big telescope. Wow, really big, wow. Wow, there's another safe. What's the code, I wonder? After reuniting with the puzzle, it's time for my brain to come out. There must be a connection between these 4 pictures. Wait. Let's check first. Oh, I understand. We'll count the stars in the picture. Walk. Okay. Starting with the duck-shaped star. Well, here, there are 5 stars. Okay, put it down first. The second one, a round picture. Well, here, 9 stars. Type it first so you don't forget. The third one is a hook. Okay. Well, 6 stars. Okay. The last one is Raft. Well, 4 stars, dude. Well, it opens right away. Walk. Another blueprint. Coins and keys. Okay. After solving the puzzle, I immediately went down and went back to the village to get the blowers I forgot to take. With all the items I got, I finally managed to open the lab gate here. Wow, it turns out that inside is a lab. Wow. After checking, it turns out we have a mission to find 3 control roads. Yeah, I immediately looked for it here. After going through some confusing obstacles, like entering this number and directing the laser, I finally managed to collect the 3 road controls here. So I put them right away, right? And it turns out it wasn't finished there, wow. After putting them away, a new problem arose. Namely, the road controls had to be installed manually. So yeah, I went to the machine area, fought some cockroaches that appeared, and started fixing them one by one, which I finally managed to complete. Okay, it's done. It turns out it was just getting rid of the poison, bro. What? New room. Wow, what is this? This like that, bro. Gustavo. Blueprint. And here it is, bro, what I was looking for. Next we head to Utopia. Wow, it's time to go back. After entering the new area, I finally got what I wanted, which was the code to the final destination, probably for the Raft game. And because I was already cold, I immediately went back to the Raft, immediately changed the code, and went to the next destination. On day 76, I continued sailing out of the snowy area, and headed to our final destination in the Raft game, Utopia. And along the way, I had the chance to make a lot of battery advances that I don't know what they're for yet. Not only that, I also upgraded the anchor here to a more modern one. Feeling that the road was still slow, I added 2 more engines to make it more powerful. And the rest of the 76th day, I only improved my RAF by adding a fence on the 2nd floor. Day 77 was still the same. I continued to improve the RA, especially on the 2nd floor, so it was nice to look at, right? And without realizing it, I arrived at our most exciting destination, Utopia. What the hell? Biangier, I didn't realize I had arrived so fast. But before exploring, I continued to improve the house here until day 77 was over. Day 78, I immediately jumped to New Island and was immediately greeted by this animal. Besides, after looking around, I felt there were cables running again here. Not only cables, I was also presented with a water puzzle. Yes, even though I patiently solved it. And for now, the water still hasn't come out, wow, because I haven't connected the first cable yet. So you could say it's stupid here. After solving the water puzzle, I tried to explore this big house. And it turns out there was some kind of tool for shooting zip lines on top. But the problem is, I need some tools to fix it. Well, for now, it's still impossible. And on the 79th day, I patiently finally connected all the cables I needed to run the electricity. And as you might have guessed, the water flowed smoothly, which turned out to have parts needed to make a zipline shooter in the water reservoir too. I just realized there was a map showing the remaining parts. So I searched, right? And finally I found it. With the code I got by digging, I was finally able to enter this big house, where it turned out there was the last zipline part, and also the blueprint. With all the parts I collected, I was finally done. This is the zipline tool. Well, wow, just shot him. Before you go there, do you copy it first? On the 80th day, I went straight to my new place using a zipline, where it turned out there were important items, namely keys. With this key, I managed to open the door to this room. Wow. There's an elevator, guys. Wow, Ninja Warrior moment, huh? Still Ez. Bro, what are you trying? Yo, it really makes me emotional. In the Ninja Warrior area, I got really emotional because I fell all the time. But by not giving up, I was finally able to reach the next area, where when I checked the lift, bro, I need more tools. Yes, luckily I got a hammer from this room. Well, with the hammer I got, I can open this door by force. Wow, Olaf. Wow, what are you talking about, El? Bajir, he challenged us. It turned out that after opening the door, I was greeted by Olaf, who challenged us to solve this little boy's puzzle, namely, bringing the gears to the top. Yes, I'll try it, right? And it turns out it took a while until this night, just to bring this gear up. With this gear, I managed to open the bridge to enter the next stage. BR, Amamir is better, huh? As you can see, I decided to go back to the rafters first to sleep. Day 81, I went back to Olaf's place yesterday and continued the puzzle. Surprisingly, it didn't take me long to solve it here. Walk. After successfully moving the gear, I immediately repaired the broken elevator and then entered the next floor. Once I arrived at the top, I continued exploring the surrounding area, and suddenly, Ulf appeared again. Oh, he appeared again. E-oil. Olaf really doesn't take it easy throwing his Molotovs. In this stage, I was required to stack cities to get up, and you could say this was still easy for me. Okay. Yes, sir. We, Olaf, are homeless. He's gone. Nice blueprint again. When I managed to climb up, Olaf ran away. Wah. Of course I chased him here. Until finally arriving at the animal pen. Wow, what kind of place is this? Wow, this is a pigsty. Ulf's original really made me emotional. Again, I was told to skip this stage. At first it was normal, until finally this happened. Wow, one more box, please. No, we. What? Well, right? Ouch. Ouch. Yep, I died being dragged by a pig. That's really annoying, really. Day 82, after the response came back, I quickly prepared and then returned to the place where I died yesterday. After being chased continuously, it turned out that Olaf led me to this scary room. Wow. What? What is Lob Lob? Wow, Olaf is really a carcass. We were told to hug an Angier pig. And it turns out I arrived at the boss's room where I had to fight this pig so I could chase Olaf again. Wad ate him. Wow, I can't do that. Bro, I was eaten, bro. No, my life. I can't. It's hard, wow. After I tried to fight it, it turned out it wasn't as easy as I thought. In the end, I died. Day 83, before returning to the pig boss's place, I prepared even more thoroughly here, even bringing 3 arrows. The hero is beyond question. After finishing, I returned to Olaf's place and tried to defeat Babe Wanksa. Okay, this is it. I can do it. How can he die again? It's impossible. Finally. Huh, this pig is tough, and after I spammed arrows, he finally fell. Where's Olaf? Oh, here's the elevator. Huh? Where are you going, Lop? Hey, watch out for falling, bro. He fell. Look at this, dude. Oh, I got the key, whack. Oh, the titanium weapon blueprint. Yes, sir. After successfully chasing Olaf, I got the master key, which is the key to open the big house below. Because I was curious about what was inside, I opened it here. What is this, Wok? Oh, what? Oh, is it the end? Yes, it's officially over, Wok. Even though it hasn't even been 100 days. Oh, the story is that all the residents were locked by Olaf. Okay, that's great. Yep, as you can see, I managed to finish the Raft game on day 83. And since this is 100 days content, I'll just continue. Wow, after saving the Utopia villagers, I returned to Raft and continued sailing to the middle of the sea. And also thanks to Olaf, I managed to make weapons from titanium, such as titanium sword, titanium X, hook, and arrow. After a long day, it's time to sleep. Day 84 was my most relaxing day after going through the annoying things where I only made titanium arrows, then I duplicated them. Besides arrow, I also bugged other items such as scrap, wood, plastic, and bars. And to kill time, I planned to make a real raft. And this can be said to take a lot of time. And don't ask why, I made it by watching YouTube. I'll put the link below later. Yes, as you can see from day 84, I really became a skilled laborer in making raft that really resembles Raft. Do you want to know how many days it took to complete this building? 12 days. Yep, it took me 12 in-game days to finally finish this cool raft. Sis, how about it, Whack? Is my raw cool or not? Cool, huh? Javanese. Well, rather than wondering, it's time for the rafter. Okay, let's start from the first floor. Here, most of it is used for engines. There's an anchor. This is for filling water, it's automatic wa. On the left, there's a smelter. On the right, it's empty. Then here, there's an engine to move the raft left and right. Here, there's a battery charger, a gas station, and this is a storage area. Sis, is that cool? Continue to the second floor, there's a bed in front of it, that's where the steering wheel is. Nice, isn't it? This is for filling the receiver with water. The steering wheel is a cooking area. Well, that's all inside. Continue outside. Outside, there's a farm, Wok, although there are no animals yet. Well, this is before touching 100 days. Our last goal is to catch animals. That's enough for the rafter. And before I go looking for animals, let's make a thumbnail. Check, you can see here I'm just looking for a good spot to make a thumbnail. That didn't even make it to the evening, bro. On day 96, I continued taking selfies for my YouTube thumbnail. What for? Just let it be. After that, I immediately set off again to Pulau Gedi, which I had already explored. The goal was to catch a chicken. Wow. By nightfall, I still hadn't reached my destination, so it was time to take a break. On day 97, all I did was sit in front of the raft and relax, waiting to reach my destination. I still hadn't. I found Pulau Gedi, which, after remembering, had at least one chicken on it. So I turned around, put down the crickets, and immediately hunted for chickens. There it was, wow. It was really trash. What the? Oh my gosh. My aim. It's been like this. What? This chicken, bro. It was strangled. Funny. After I caught the chicken, I immediately took it to the RF and released it into the cage. Well, you can just stay here. Oh, you can name it. Wilson. Wilson Luento. Finally, we got a pet, Wilson. Huh? Time to sleep. On day 98, I continued on to the first Getty Island. Although it was a bit far, I finally arrived on day 99 in the morning. Because I didn't want to waste time, I immediately went up and accidentally saw a big bear eating berries. So I was just messing around here. Knowing. Well, come here, Wilson. EO Wilson 2. Check. After getting the second Wilson, I wanted to make it epic when I reached day 100, so I sailed to see the sunset and then went to sleep. And finally, I arrived at day 100. And coincidentally, before I wanted to end the video, I arrived at this unique island. Because I was curious, I checked it out. Wow, this is the last island on day 100. Please, there's something new. What? There's a goat, Wak Nyoing. Yes, sir. Wow, who would have thought that day 100 would end with catching this goat? I named it Ganyu using a question, right? And day 100 ended epically with Ganyu and 2 Wilsons. What else could I possibly want, right? Raft is already good, the animals are cool, right? At most, AJ is lacking.
He was running from a cop car, jumping up that gang on a little bit. Like he was like